देवपुरी सांज देव सर्वांक आज हो संदर्भ करून दिल्ल्या परिचया म्हज्या इश्टांक हांव आभार मानता आनी रिवाजे प्रकार हांवें केदाळाई हांगा आयिल्ल्या वेळार गोडशें तांकां खावंक जाता म्हण न्ही पूण मोगान गोडशें हाडचें आज हाडलां बाब प्रकाश हें तुवें घेजें म्हणून उपकार मागता. देव बरें. आनी हांवें एक विशय बसयल्लो पावसा दरम्यान शिफ्ट करूंक आसल्यार खर्च वाडल्यार त्या खर्चाचो एक वांटो आमी दिता म्हणून आनी तो वांटो हांगा आसा. देव बरें.
कार्यक्रम आता आम्ही आरंभ करता. एक दोन कळवण्यो. जागतीक विविध भासांचे 12 पदां हांगासर प्रस्तुत जातात. भोव अपूर्व कार्य रंगपरिचयान जाल्लें जाल्यार ताची सोबाय आणखी दोडती जाती. अनिवार्य कारणा खातीर आमी हांगासर करीत जाय पडलां. अवकाश करून दिल्ल्या पिगार बापांक आनी आडळते मंडळीचो आमी आभार मानता. विशेश जावन हांव सगळ्यांक तुमकां स्वागत करता. सकाळ तुमी आमच्या मोगान आयलात. विशेश जावन बाप डेनीस तोट्टामतावन सभार आमच्या तरणाट्यांक परत घेवन आयला. तो आमच्या सांगात सदांच आसचो. काल तांकां अनिवार्य कारणा खातीर जावना ते आयलात. तांकांय स्वागत. नॉर्बर्ट मातशें आतां शिरवंतावन आसा आनी सक्कड आमचे इश्ट आसात. तुमकां सगळ्यांक हांव एका सुत्रान येवकार मागता. कार्य सुरू करया. ताच्या पयलें एक गजाल सांगून हांव अखेर करता. आज खरी एक पोद प्रस्तुत जाताना आमचो विल्सन नावाडे एक चित्रकलाकार पेंटींग करता. खरी एका पदाच्या थिमाचेर हुंदून आसता. हांव चिंता तो पेंटींग करता. 12 पदांक 12 पेंटिंगां तयार जातात आनी ती कार्यक्रमाच्या निमाणे आमी ती एलाम करता. आनी पंगडान आनी विल्सनान एक परवानगी दिल्या त्या एलामा मुखांत्र जमो जाल्लो आयवज तो परिचयाक वेता म्हणून सांग आमी तांचो उपकार आठयता. विल्सन आमचो परिचय स्वता सांदो तांणी बरें मन दाखयलां. हे थंय फाटल्यान कॅनवास आसा. खंयच्या सायजीचें विल्सन तें 2x2 2x2चें एक पेंटींग विल्सनाचें सरुणें 30,000 रुपयांक विकरो जाता. म्हळ्यार तो गॅलरीच्यांक दिता आनी गॅलरीचे ताचें तें पेंटींग सरुणें 50,000 विकता. एक गजाल. दुसरी गजाल पेंटींग कित्याक काण घेतात गी म्हणलें एक सवाल आमकां आसाचे. आमकां जाग्याक इन्वेस्ट करूंक उत्त आसा, भांगाराक इन्वेस्ट करूंक उत्त आसा, म्युच्युअल फंडांनी इन्वेस्ट करूंक उत्त आसा, इतर सबार एसेट क्लासाचेंत आमकां इन्वेस्ट करूंक गुत्त आसा. पूण आमी आमच्या विशेशान आमच्या ह्या बोवारीच्या आमी कोणेय आर्ट वर्कांत इन्वेस्ट करचें आमी तें एक इन्वेस्टमेंट म्हणलें आमी केदाळाय चिंतलें ना. विल्सनाच्या सिग्नेचरीक मोल आसा. हय, विल्सन सोजा म्हणलें सिग्नेचर आसल्यार त्या सिग्नेचरीक एक विशिश्ट मोल आसा. आज M.A. पुसेनाचें 2x2चें एक चित्र या आर्ट वर्क सरुणें 8 करोडांनी विकरो जाता खंय. 8 करोडांनी एलाम जाता खंय. 8 करोडांक. तर चिंता विल्सन आतां 40 वर्सां प्रायचेर आसा. 60-70 जाताना तुमी आतां इन्वेस्ट केलें जाल्यार तुमच्या भुरग्यांक ल्हान भुरगीं कोणी आसात जाल्यार इन्वेस्ट केलें जाल्यार भुरग्यांक 30 वर्सां जाताना आज एक सरुणें 10-20-30 हजारा भितर मेळचें पेंटींग हांव चिंता अनलिमिटेड वॅल्यू. दया करून ह्या विशयान तिल्लें गुमान दिया. कित्याक म्हूण सांगलां हांव विल्सना सांगाता केदाळाय सांगात आसता आमी. तशें जाल्ल्यान ताका फोनां येवची पंजाबातावन PVR सिनेमाचो MD आसा पळय हाची पुरा आर्ट वर्क काण घेता आनी ताचे लागीं आतां सरुणें विल्सनान सांगिल्ल्या प्रमाणे सरुणें 300 करोडांचें आर्ट वर्क आसा गे. तें नांव कळ्ळें विल्सन? हां वय गौतम दत्ता म्हणलो PVR सिनेमाचो CEO, ताच्या लागीं सोडून 300-400 करोडाचे आर्ट वर्क आसा म्हणून सांगता तो. इन्वेस्ट केला 2 कारणां खातीर. ब्लॅक जायना, वायटच, इन्कम टॅक्साचे हांकां कितलो वॅल्यू म्हणून धरूंक जायना. त्या खातीर खंडीत पळय इन्कम टॅक्साचे आयल्यार आतां म्हजे येतलो एकलो कोणी येवन पळयत जाल्यार हें आर्ट वर्क हे 5,000 आसतात म्हणचे ती ताका करोडांचें मोल आसा म्हणून तें गुत्तल्ल्याक मात्र गुत्त आसा. तशें जावन दयाकरन आज तुमकां भोव उण्या रेटीचेर नवाडदीक चित्रकलाकार विल्सनाची आर्ट वर्क मेळटात. दयाकरून काण घेया. तुमी काण गेल्ले वरवीं परिचयाकय आदार जाता आनी तुमकां इन्वेस्टमेंट डेफिनेटली जायत गे. हे निमाणे दोतोर विन्सेंट आल्वा हे येलामाची प्रक्रिया चलोवन व्हरतलो. देव बरें करूं. एरीक बाब काल्यांगे उलोवंक आसा म्हणटा तें जाल्या उपरांत तुरंत कार्य सुरू करचें.
तुमच्या हातांत एक बुकलेट दिलां. हें बुकलेट हातूंत आज म्हणची पुरा पदां आसात आनी हें तयार केलां म्हज्या नातवान. ताचें स्क्रिप्टींग डिजायनींग तें परत ताणेंच केलां. बुकलेट व्हरा घरा. आतां तें पदां म्हणटाना फॉलो करूंक जाता खंयचें म्हूण पळोवन त्या क्रमार ना, नॉट इन द ऑर्डर ऑफ सिक्वेन्स ऑफ द सिंगींग हियर, बट जाल्यार स्वता 12च पदां आसची. देव बरें करूं. या हांव म्हज्या इश्टांक देव बरें करूं म्हणटा. थँक्यू फॉर जॉयनींग अस. थँक्यू. म्हळ्यार हाका आफ्रिकांतून हाडलां आमी. सिद्धी आमचोच वांगडी, म्हजो नातू.
आबा
हो तसो बाप्पू, म्हज्या नातवाचो बाप्पू. आनी पळयंगा हो आनीक बाप्पू. मागीर व्हडलो बापूय येवना, तो भुरग्यांक सांबाळटा. म्हळ्यार तो म्हजो पूत रितेश. या विल्सन देव बरें करूं. वय फ्रिजो संबंद म्युजिकाचो मात्र, पूण व्हडल्या व्हडल्या आर्टिस्टां वाटो तो परफॉर्म करता आनी आमच्या नशिबान तो आमकां मेळ्ळो. या पुरो सट जालें. सुरू करुया.
So I so I so I so I so I so I Sululahi con la luna como asa ne manzara la musola dunia musola con la moglie lema ibe con la tasa genna ki de wolo se genna ki kano la mo abada kita la mola ibo di la mola ki kano to no don abada sa yeah so con la money fonde do mala mo corodo jolly alla moda ne nen do nella moda ne wala dem ni bi bollo we can di takala molla ni mo samani bi bollo we can di takala molla let your money bi bollo we can di takala molla open ani to kasi open ani sonjaye sa allá de un yalache, allá de un yalache, allá de un yalache, allá de un yalache, saluata, allá de un Cheers, folks. Thank you very much. Trying to figure out a little bit of the balance here with the first song. That song is in the language of Bambara, which I'm sure if you've attended the first show you've heard of before. It's what I would consider a Sahelian language, which refers to this strip of land, which means shoreline, but it's not a shoreline between the land and the sea, but rather the endless sea of sand that is the Sahara. Bambara is spoken in Mali, and this is a song by a lady called Fatoumata Diawara. It's might sound very upbeat, but it's sort of a prayer, pleading people to not abandon their children and leave them to misery. It says, "Look them in the eyes before you condemn them to this fate." And now from the Sahel, we go a little further north, where the Numidians and the Berbers of the time of Hannibal once roamed. The people that later became known as the Moors. You see, the history of the country that we now call Spain is not as European as we think. The first cities on its shores were founded by Phoenician traders and sailors who came all the way from the coasts of what is now Lebanon and Canaan, as we know from the Bible. Okay. It was settled by these people, the Romans, the Goths, and then the Arabs, who left an indelible mark upon the language. And now we have this tapestry that's created a culture. And from this culture, which later spread its own way across the seas, very much how it began, we have songs from all over, from Latin America, from the country of Spain itself. This particular one is a song by a Colombian singer, and it's about the ghosts of those who leave us behind. It says, "People keep telling me every day that you're not coming back, but they do not know what I see at night. When there's no light, I know you're not just a memory. I know you're there in front of me." This one's called Cada Dia, which means every day. Cada día alguien me habla de ti, intentando sacar el dolor de mi alma. Cada día alguien me habla de ti, intentando explicarme que ya no volverás. Pero de noche, cuando ya no hay luz, cuando todos se van, tú caminas despacio entre mis sueños y estás. No eres solo un recuerdo, yo te siento tan cerca que pareces real. Y después te vas, cuando yo despierte, tu ausencia vendrá. Cada día alguien me habla de ti, y dice que tiempo es una rueda girando. Cada día yo podría subir, después de tocar fondo si girara también. Pero de noche, cuando ya no hay luz, cuando todos se van, tú caminas despacio entre mis sueños y estás. No eres solo un recuerdo, yo te siento tan cerca que pareces real. Y después te vas, cuando yo despierte, tu ausencia vendrá. Noche, cuando ya no hay luz, cuando todo se va, tú caminas despacio entre mis sueños y estás. No eres solo un recuerdo, yo te siento tan cerca que pareces real. Y después te vas, cuando yo despierte, tu ausencia vendrá. Después te vas, cuando yo despierte, tu ausencia vendrá. Thank you very much. It's a song about ghosts, but some ghosts don't really have to be dead, and that's, I think, a part of the beauty. I think ghosts, more than anything, are memory. They're lingering signs, these imprints of life that has once been, that keep reminding us of their presence, or rather their absence. We're gonna go now to this beautiful little folk song, which may be in Persian, but it's not from Persia, so to speak. Now, Iran, it's a land with an ancient history, a history as old as India itself, you know? People always associate them with these great empires, but there's so much more than that. It's this poetic history that's bled its way into India as well. In fact, I'm sure half the words in this coming folk song you would recognize yourself. There's a line that goes, Bewafa Dildari. I'm sure anyone who's spoken Urdu can see the similarities. But Persian is a language of influence, and it has always been half of Arabic vocabulary, half of Kazakh, Uzbek, Urdu, Armenian, Turkish, you name it. It's this heart of culture somewhere in Central Asia. But sometimes things move their way inwards too. We always see things as a source, but the source is always colored as well. And this source is actually a folk song from the highlands of Armenia, the mountains where they sang of Sari Arjik, which meant the girl from the mountains. Now, nobody knows who wrote the song or how old it is. It's sung across the Caucasus, from Azerbaijan to Turkey to Armenia to Persia and Iran and the rest of the lands. And everyone claiming it as their own, but I think that's part of the beauty of culture. It's shared. It's really a shared thing. It's a part of the human experience. It's the adaptation that keeps us alive and makes us what we are, much more than any biological thing, you know? Humans are not human because we don't have fur on our skin. Humans are human because we live as humans and we dream. So this one is a song called Daman Keshan, which means holding her skirt. And it sings of a girl who's run away in the mountains, the cupbearer of the wine drinkers, as they say, and a man who's left behind in that pain. کشان ساقی میخورن است کنار یارن است تو پیش رو افشان میریزن در جمعه و شرنگ دوری و از غم محجوری چون شرابی جوشن میریزن قلبی لرزان زغامش دیرشان نگران ساقی میخورن از کنار یارن از تو بیسو افشان میریزن دارم چشمی گریان برش روزشان باران تا بیان آزرده دل از چه فرقی یاری به وفا دل داری محرس کاری شب نخوافتم به یادش دادم من از کف دادم شد جهان از یادم و از عشقش در دل نهفتم از چشمانش ریزد به دلم روز عشق امید دامن از کف دادم شد جهان از یادم باز عشقش در دل دارم چشمی گریان برش روز و شب مارم تا بیایم Thank you very much, everyone. I think I'm gonna have to keep the mic a little bit further from myself. It's getting a little hard. Also, while I've been not paying attention, I've got another painting down here, which is incredible. How does he do it so fast? This one was a song from the mountains. It said, Damen Keshan, holding her skirt. Saqi Meichoran, the cupbearer of wine drinkers. As Kinare through the sides of her friends and their suitors. Megariza flees. And now we go very far away to Sweden. Now, Sweden's not a country I normally associate with things so deeply historic and poetic, but I don't think there's any place in the world where as much beautiful music comes from, at least today. The song we're about to do is by a lady called Marie Fredriksson. You might recognize her from Roxette and other rock bands from the 80s. But this one's very different from all those ballads of "It Must Have Been Love." This one's in Swedish, and it's about the journey that we all step through in life that is cyclic. This thing that we seek, this unattainable, this comfort, a place of belonging. We journey towards it over and over again until the next autumn, till nästa höst in Swedish, and that's what this one's about. It's called Den ständiga resan, which means the unending journey. tänker på den ständiga resan genom livet. När det alltid känns som höst, då vänder sig vinden sakta mot norr och blommorna dör. Det faller regn i mina drömmar. Jag måste visa igen lite efter tröst. Jag måste lita igen efter all liten tröst. Jag måste lita igen till nästa helg. Den ständiga resan till nästa höst. Vandrar på den ständiga vägen genom livet. När det känns som jag bar på en saga, då gömmer sig solen sakta imorgon. Ordet är snart faller snö i mina drömmar. Jag måste visa igen lite efter tröst. Jag måste leta I think that came out pretty well, eh? That one always makes me think of what the words say. The next autumn. We don't really get to see autumn here, but we have lovely rains which have kind of played spoil sport on the evening, but I'm sure that we're doing the best we can. Which brings me to the topic of our next song, which is a beautiful one. It's a song about how things don't really exist for our purposes, about how the things that we do are done in the intention of molding a future, in the intention of shaping it, sewing it, adorning it, weaving it, and making it possible. Yet, it's not everything that's in our hands. You see, amchi mai bas Konkani. He bas. The history behind our language is a deep, deep one. As so with any language, you might think. But the thing about language is that it's so much more than a collection of words that we use to communicate with each other. Language is an entity in and of itself. Every idiom, every choice of word, the way that we describe things defines the way that we think about them as well. It comes from the source of the life that we have lived through the thousands of years that we have passed through. And it colors the way we see the world today. Rangdita. Konkani is a language that has been through almost everything that would have made it disappear and yet emerged out of the end of it. Not for want of its glory, for it's never been a language of glory. Not for want of power, portachibas neamchi. But because it is identity. It has been the thing that we have held on to. Amchi sanskriti yakatira mi daunle agoyataun. It wasn't just the threat of life. It's a threat of the way of life. Now, be the drying of the Saraswati River, be it the exodus from our heartland in Goa, be it the captivity under Tipu Sultan, under which most of the population never returned, that scattered us across these shores and today even shores far beyond our own. पण आमची भास ती उरला आणि ती उरून दी म्हणून आम्ही पोतांक रस्ता आबान कितलो वर्सां काम केलां ह्या खातीर. ही एक पद अमर शाफ्रान बरयलें कवी ता आनी आबान हाका ताळो बसयला. हाका हांव गिटार केलचो ना म्हळ्यार म्हजी आतां आनी पद म्हणूंक गेल्यार कशें जाता. हें पद सुरू जावचे पयलें एका रेकॉर्डिंगान मात आयकलां. हांव जल्मो नातलो अमर शाफ्रा आसतना, पूण ताणें म्हळ्यार काळ बदल्ला, पोसलयलें फूल माळोवंक पावना, काडिल्लें सूत वळोवंक मेळना, दिल्लें उतर पाळोवंक पावना, आनी आट्या वेट्यांनी रांदलें रांदप जायत, चिंतल्या बरी पानार पावना. 진트야 뿌린 파는 밤하나 란들레라나 진트야 뿌린 파나를 밤하나 Nangana, Nangana. रात मोड़ा मेरा लगी बात जलताना रात मोड़ा मेरा लगी बात जलताना जलताना रात मोड़ा मेरा लगी बात जलताना राती आशा बाकी आशा तुमसे मुंगोना राती आशा बाकी आशा तुमसे मुंगोना Nangana, 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 Nangana. Randulerana, Chintulia Puri, Pana, Pavana. 도리오다치 단다고 굳이 박지나 난가나 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 란들레라나 진들 아프리 파나 파와나 Nangana talo sama ikat salar makasama mo niya tempod. Yeah. Bokshija. Don't feel like I did justice to that one for now. We'd make do with what we have. Randale randap chintle panar pawana. It's a song that's always taken me to sensations and dreams of the forests that constantly surround us. Amiyascha gudamode, ranamode, punu. Palong bari approve melcha. Paisa som. Ni sopna makapurta. Kung ni potang shit. Kali weglots sensation sa tancher. Aulanas na mai makakidali podmentali luskerdon. Pausieta, pausieta. Anitali podam. Kidali azun makasopnan ditat. Ionchi podi sopna vishintit. The next song is in the language of Italian. Italy, which we associate with also mountains, but Rome and the church and history and the Renaissance and art and music and all these things that are glorified. But I feel we give so much glory to so many cultures and so many places around the world. The romanticization of France, the beauty of Spain. But one thing I'd like to say, and I think the theme of this show is, we can do all of these things. The respect that we give ourselves and our language and our culture and our identity and our heredity is what will make us who we are and who we become. This next song is called Jewels. It's by a band called Novembre from Italy. And it has a little bit of English in it, which I think just adds to the meaning. It's about memories that we can't let go of. Memories that resurge before our eyes, like dreams. This one's called Jewels. Penso passato tornerà solo un giorno per portare via questa notte anomala. Quando domani tornerà in un'altra vestita Wow, I like those colors. Beautiful, huh? Jewels, jewels, jewels. One of my favorite songs, actually. It's got a certain sensation about it. Believe it or not, I want to use this opportunity. That was written by a heavy metal band, and it's very much a heavy metal song with, double kick drums and everything. But there's beautiful compositions to be had everywhere. And I think people can appreciate that. This next one is very different. And I know I talk a lot about history and the pieces that create culture, and this song is less about that and more about how history remains through us. The next song is in Portuguese, a language I'm sure we are at least fleetingly familiar with. Konkani's been touched by these little smatterings. Tem mezar, e a tempo, e a colher, e a zanel, e a igers, e a beção. All of Padre, there you go. Ananas and Isatianas. Portuguese is a language that has deeply influenced our own, perhaps through choice, at other times less so. But it's more so the culture that I wish to speak of. You see, Portugal is this little strip of land on the northwest of the Iberian Peninsula. In the north, you have the beautiful Galician mountains. It's an Atlantic coast. Portugal is not a Mediterranean country. It's Atlantic. It's greener. It's colder. It's marked by cliffs and worn-out shores out on the edge of Europe. You see, Portugal, for a large period of time, was defined by its colonial empire and the wounds and scars that it left on countless cultures around the world. But there's so many beautiful things that we also get to thank them for. Jeevan here, our brother, Konkani, was brought here by the Portuguese. And now brotherhood has sprung from among us. But the Portuguese themselves, being departed so far away on journeys and voyages that would last years and most would never come back from, beginning with Vasco da Gama and then all the countless explorers and colonists and sailors, and a land whose kings were rich but whose people were poor and remained to be thus. A certain sense of solitude began to emerge. And this is a solitude that is deeply feminine, because it is a woman that had to pay the price for the men that disappeared. Now that has remained and come into pieces of Goan culture as well, but through a sort of derived form. We sing fado, we talk about well, oftentimes it was the opposite, but it's this longing between the women who have lost their children to the sea, their husbands that will never return. They call saudade, solitude. And this song is a very modern song, hardly 5 years old. Nothing to do with the history of Portugal, but it's written by a Portuguese woman named Maro. And it's a song about the saudade that she feels. It's called Ha de Sarar, and it means it has to heal. And it's about not being able to say goodbye. Que expectativa não gerida pode matar. Sei que é culpa minha, a verdade me queixa que fosse mudar. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. The next song is a song that I like to do, namely because I wrote it. But I'd like to tell you something about the peoples of Central Asia, because we share more in common with them than we realize. The next song is a song in Kazakh. Some people call it Kazakhi, some people call it Kazakh. They say Kazakh, ka. It's a pretty rare sound that doesn't really exist in most languages that we know of. This song is a song very much informed by the past and the present of these people. You see, the Kazakhs, much like the Mongols, are a nomadic people, and usually when I say that, that's something that belongs in the history books, like the first Indo-Aryans, the Vedic people, were a semi-nomadic people. Yes, but they existed 3,000 years ago. No, the Kazakhs were nomads until the time of their grandfathers or fathers, even today. These are people that lived on horseback between their yurts, or their gers as they're known in Mongols. These are people to whom money and land and all these things meant very little. Because life was about life. It was about the things that you can't construct. Their only god was Tenger, the blue sky, until of course a lot of them became converts to various religions after the great expansions of the Turkish peoples. But even to this day, these pieces remain. One of the most important symbols of the Kazakh identity is the shangarak, which is a little opening on the top of the yurt through which they view the blue sky by day and the stars by night. And you never stand in the doorway of a yurt, because what is inside and what is outside is outside. These are people that until the last generation knew what it was to be free from all the things that we think tie us down, but actually mean very little. The song was written, well, musically I did write it, but the poem that made it was written by my friend Tengiz Watkan, himself a Kazakh, whose grandfather was a nomad. And it tells a story of him wondering about the things that he feels he's lost. And then realizing that when he thought he'd let go, he hadn't until he closed his eyes. There's a line here that says, "I tied my eyes shut and I rode forward, and I knew that I was not alone." There's a word in Kazakh. It's the name of the song, Mungdastarum. The way Kazakh works is you take a piece of a word and then you add another piece and another piece and then you give it meaning. Mungdastarum has a very similar meaning to the Urdu word hamdard, someone who has shared in your grief, someone who has experienced something with you. Mung means grief. Mungdas, like dastarkhandas, someone who has shared something with you. Mungdastar, those that have done so. Mungdastaram, mine. So Mungdastaram, the ones with whom I have shared grief, I'd like to present to you. sözün kulağımda.
Thank you. There's a reason I placed this song before the upcoming song. The composition of this previous one was largely inspired for me by the folk music of nomadic people in southeastern Siberia called the Tuvans. They used to do a lot of throat singing and they use such scales. And I realized these rhythms, these sensations, these are deeply nomadic things. The Turks carried them with them through what now is, the Khorasan, Samarkand, Afghanistan, through Iran, into Turkey. But also the Turco-Persian heritage that defined what is India. The name India, Hindustan being itself a Persian word. See, this Turco-Persian influence is almost inseparable from what we consider to be Indian culture, be that in our forms of poetry or shairi, be that in our forms of cuisine, our architecture. I mean, not so much in the South, but at least, Hindustan, so to speak. These pieces leave traces, and these traces create identity. This next song is a song that uses a lot of words that I didn't know the meaning of at first. But I think it epitomizes that sensation of the beloved as a metaphor for the divine. It says, "You are the snake charmer, you are the monkey man, and I am charmed by your sway. You are the one that holds the pouch of joy, you are the spring from whom the rivers emerge." This one was written by Clinton Cerejo and it's called Madari.
तू ही डरे मुस्कान की बूटी खड़के दुखड़ बचे टट्टा होवे झुल्ला इत कड़के दुखड़ बचे टट्टा होवे झुल्ला यान फकीर दिखा के जावा राजी होवे बुल्ला इत कड़के दुखड़ बचे टट्टा होवे झुल्ला इत कड़के दुखड़ बचे टट्टा होवे झुल्ला यान फकीर दिखा के जावा राजी होवे बुल्ला तेरी रूखी सूखी सूखी रूखी खा के देखा हर एक वाला अमृत लागे तेरी रहमो करम से हर फूटी किस्मत उठ के बागे जितना भर दे खिलौने में छवि उतनी है उसकी रफ्तार तू चलाता है जीवन का मेला तू ही सुने हम सबकी गुहार मतारे 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 मेरा तू मैं जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा मतारे 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 मेरा तू मैं जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा मतारे मेरा तू जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा जम्मूरा रे जम्मूरा मतारे मेरा Matare, 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 matare. Pretty fun one, right? Thank God for Coke Studio. Ladies and gentlemen, Wilson Souza with another masterpiece. I still don't know how he does it. But then again, I can't draw or paint or really do anything. This next one, I think, is a pretty important song for this set. Because all day today, you know, on the way here to Pamboor, I was just admiring the sensation that I hadn't gotten to see for many years. Being far away, either, you know, in Canada or in the concrete jungle and desert that is Dubai. Sorry for the cliche, but that's how it feels out there. Angayon makaruk disle, mati disle, fator chi gude, paus. Ipurasangti angachi. And I felt different. I felt rejuvenated. I felt alive. I felt like the world had meaning for once. Of course, there's places where this is disappearing, but it's sacred. The earth is sacred. The trees that surround us are sacred. They're the things that create what we are. Our nature defines us. We humans, we forget that we are animals, just like any other animal. Just like the field defines the cow, we too need to remember that these are our habitats. These are the air that we breathe. And the soil that we stand on today has a very particular identity. The identity that we've given it, the identity that it has given us. But there are certain things in our collective psyche, in our mind, that are defined by this landscape, by the hills that surround us, by the water on the other side,
by the trees that grow wild and overgrow and seep through every piece of stone and concrete that we lay in its path. आमचे काणयो आसात. म्हाका आवडासा मांड सोबानाचे एक कार्य आहलें आपुट म्हणून 200 म्हयन्याळी मनशी आसता आनी तातूंत टायटस न्हू एक काणी सांगून आहलो. तो ल्हान आसतना ताचो बापूय गुड्यार गेलो आनी त्या गुड्यार एक भूत आसा म्हूण गोत्तालें ताका. सो आमकां सगळ्यांक इल्ली काणी गोत्ता. हांव ल्हान आसतना डाडा म्हाका सांगतालो हांगा रानांत तांणी भूत कोला करतात, तांणी नारळ दितात आनी देव तांच्या आंगा भितर रिगता, भूत रिगता. This soil, Imati, is a very, very, very rich culture because the people that have been here forever. And this is Tulunadu. These dreams that have seeped into our minds as well. These stories, these cultural practices that have been retained through the centuries. I thought it was only fitting to put something that's not a song someone wrote to create beauty, but a piece of a padadana, a piece that is uttered in the folk stories of the people of this soil. This one is an excerpt from Siripadadana, and it tells a story that we've all heard before. Good Deda Bhuta Undu. It's called Dennana.
Karnik tule, good Da-na-na, 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 da-na-nee. Da-na-na, 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 da-na-nee. ತುಳುನಾಡು ಸೀಮೆಡು ಕಮ್ರೊಟ್ಟು ಗ್ರಾಮೋಡು ಗುಡ್ಡೆದ ಭೂತ ಉಂಡು ಮಾಮಾಡು ಭೂತಾಡು ಕಾರ್ನೆಕ್ಕು ತುಲೆಯು ಗುಡ್ಡೆದ ಭೂತ ಉಂಡು It really is a beautiful place we live in. Good to the Bhuta, everyone. Hazrati Anatla Puro Lebende Sokanit Puchana. We're approaching the last two songs of our show, folks, which is sad and quicker than anticipated. Moves up to. This one is a song in English. Which too has poetic qualities, as much as we may call it a, what is it, three languages masquerading as one, concealed under a tall coat, like little children trying to hide how old they are. But there's beauty to be found in every language, because it's not the sound of the words, it's the meaning thereof. At the same time, there's a bit of a love-hate relationship with English in my mind, because I feel like people place too much importance on its shoulders. Just because an empire managed to win a war doesn't mean that the language is any greater than any other. A lot of people are turning back from their own languages to speak English, which means nothing. It only takes you away from the threads of who you are. I don't think anyone in English could have ever written, "There is a ghost on the mountain." It doesn't emerge that way. The sensations of what you are, what you feel, how you see the world, the dreams that you have are defined by what's more than just in your blood, but what's in the air that surrounds you, the people that surround you, the dreams, the culture, the survival that has survived longer than any of us could even dream of. Our memories are not as long as our lives. Our memories are a lot longer. And same ways, our bodies and ourselves and our minds are not just emergent when we are born. We are a piece of our people. And that is a part of who I am that is inseparable from who I am. And speaking my language and being a part of it is as important to my existence as any other element of it. Because my identity and the things that created me, the processes of history that led us to survive, are what allow me to be there. So I don't think that just because this English song I think is a really nice one, that we should be turning our backs on everything else.
This one is written by a band called Catatonia from Sweden. It's called Hypnone, and it's about finding that solace and loneliness might be the only way sometimes. Quite dark, I suppose, but it's a beautiful one, and I hope you enjoy. Till the stars burn out, my day is done. I love the sound of no one coming by. Down beneath the trees, my name unsung, the darkness and the cracks. I am not what you have waited for. Trust, nothing is enough. This hunting ground, I need the freedom to control my own home. I need the sound of rain, where independence still. The lion must be kept so thin to live near life, not within. No need to take the test before the darkness shines. Reflect in my eyes and strap this creation of mine. Tomorrow is so long, didn't can you see? Black wings upon his back. I'm not what you have waited for.
need the freedom to control my own. I need the sound of rain. We're independent still. The lion must be kept so thin to live near life, not within.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. It's one of my favorite songs of all time, actually. Now, Abba Wulonkley.
या निमाण्या पदा पयलें परिचयाच्या संप्रदाया प्रकार कलाकारांक मान करूंक आसा आनी हें कार्य परिचय चलयता.
This entire get-together that we've had was really quite spur of the moment, and I'm really impressed that we've managed to do as well as we have, but it wouldn't have been possible without the endless efforts of all those that surround me. So first, I would like to introduce Mazabappu, Joy Uncle, who on guitar. Maka seating arrangement as oda asnatlu. Ani itla kama mode ani kashta mode practice करून वेळ काडून सगळे arrangement करून and of course ताची गिटार म्हाका दिला cause म्हजो माम रितू मामा Ritesh Ozario. म्हाका बेयानलं की तुम्हाला अभ्यासाक 18 तारखेसर मात येवंक जावचें ना म्हूण सांगलां एकल्यान हांगा हांव चिंतलें अयो सगळ्यांक पोदां शिकूंक पडटलें पूण एक फावटी कांय सांगचेय गरज पडूं ना येदोळ एकूच मनीस आसा आनी तो आमचो जिवन सिद्धी घुमटार तो नातला रिकारेचे सबाय आसचेत ना गिटार केला तितलं बरं ऐकना का होणार केला बारी बरं ऐकता आमच्या कुटुंबाचो ड्रमर म्हजो बाप्पू मेल्विन अंकल मेल्विन फर्नांडीस आनी पयस जावन आयलो व्हडल्या वेदी तावन आमचे हे व्हडली वेदी कोंकणी व्हडली उडासतरी आमी कितले व्हडली करता तितले व्हडली जाता सत कोचितावन फ्रिजो फ्रांसीस फामाद पियानिस्ट आनी ताळयो पोर विल्सन बाबान म्हाका सांगलें हांगाची पुरा मोगरी म्हणून हांव म्हणल्यार म्हाका मोगरांचो वास तितलो बरो जायना ताणें म्हणल्यार हांव मोगरे खाणेवनूच सन्मान करता तुमकां सत सांगलो ताणें हांव इशान फेर्नांडीस एरिक ओझारियो सोनातो रश्मी फेर्नांडीसाचो पूत पोसवयले फूल माळोंक मेळ्ळे. देव बरें करूं तुमकां. आनी ऑफकोर्स आमचो कलाकार पांबूर परिचय असो हिस्सो व्हडलो हिस्सो विल्सन सोजा कायार. मस्त जाण आसा देव बरें करूं म्हणूंक. परिचया कितले कशें करना पावसा मदें दुसरे कितले एका घंट्या भितर नवे जाग्यार सेट करून आनी पुरा मार कशें काडला तुवें. मागीर लॉय बाब आसा, सिम्फनी म्युजीक आसा, पियानो दिल्ला, गिटार दिल्ला, कांय विचार नासतना सवाली. पूण कितल्यांक देव बरें करूं म्हणून गेल्यार शोत मूख जाताले. अनिल सावंड आसा हांगा, व्हिडियोग्राफी जावन आसा, लायटींग हांगा हॉलांत आहला बरें कळना ना बरें आतां आरोल एकल्याचें नांवां काडूंक जावचें ना म्हाका. पूण सगळ्यांक देव बरें करूं म्हणटा. आतां आमच्या अकरेच्या पदाक पावता आमी. पूण ताचे पयलें प्रकाश बाबू उलयलो.
आनी एक उपकार आठवणी हांवें 1-2 शब्दांनी करूंक आसा. आनी एक गौरव पाठोवणी आसा, 1 या 2 हांव चिंता. आमच्या एरिक बाबान काल न्ही 18 तारखेर 55वो जल्म दिवस आचरण केला. हय, परिचय आपोवणें आशिल्लें. आमचे थोडे मित्र गेल्ले, म्हाका अनिवार्य कारणा खातीर वचूंक जावना. परिचया तर्फेन बागी जल्मा दीस आमी मागता आसतना एरिक बाब तुका देव बरी भलायकी दिवन दी म्हणून मागता. आनी तुवें आमचो मान स्विकार करीजे म्हूण सगळो विनंती करता.
काल म्हणटात तुमी बरो जल्मा दीस, बरो जल्मा दीस, बरो जल्मा दीस मोगाळाबा, बरो जल्मा दीस.
आमी केक तयार घरी जाय आशिल्ले कोण एरिक बाब केक कांय ना दिसता. केक आमकां आयोजन करूंक जावना. ओके, म्हाका वदळ उल्लेख करूंक हांव विसरालो. आतां हांव चिंता ना. कोंकणी अकाडेमीचो अध्यक्ष मानेस्त स्टॅनी आल्वारीस आमचे मदें आसुल्लो. तो आनी सांगातास कोंकणी अकाडेमीचो सांदो नवीन लोबो, मागीर रॉनिक आसता, ते हजर आशिल्ले. अकाडेमीच्या अध्यक्षाक एक आमी मान पाठोवंक आशिल्लो. तो हांव चिंता इल्लेशें पयलें तुरतान गेलो म्हूण दिसता. आतां ताका फावो जावचो मान हांवें कोणा कडेन दिवचो? एल्ड्रॉना कडेन दिवल्यार एल्ड्रॉन फावीत करतलो गी एरिक बाब? पातयणी आम तुका ताचेर. पळय, कोंकणी अकाडेमीच्या अध्यक्षाक स्टॅनी आल्वारेसाक आमी मान करता. ताच्या तो ना ताच्या गैर हाजीरपणार आमी मान आमचो शॉल आनी फुलां पावीत करीचे एल्ड्रॉन जायत घे. हय हय, उपकार आठवणीची 1-2 उतरां. आयचो भोव अपुर्बायेचो हें कार्य संघ सदर केल्ल्या ईशान, तुका आनी तुज्या सक्कड संगती कलाकारांक हांव परिचय तर्फेन देव बरें करूं म्हणटा.
देव बरें करूं तुमकां.
बरें करूं. सांगत असं हांवें एकल्या दोगांची नांवां आज खंडीत काडूंक जाय. आज पावसान आमकां इल्लेशें ना वेळार आमकां जागवण दिली. 5 वरां उपरांत पळयतना हांवें चिंतलें हे फावटी आमी शिफ्ट करचें नाका आसलें कोणा म्हूण. विल्सान म्हणालो पावस येयत म्हणालो आनी पावस आयलो. कित्याक म्हळ्यार आमकां आतां पश्चाताप ना शिफ्ट केल्ल्याक. भायर मस्त पावस येते आसा. इतल्या तुरंत जावन हें पोरा थंय आसलें हांगा हाडून अरेंज करूंक मस्त वावुरलो आमचो आरोळ विल्सान, प्रदीप आनी एलवान आनी आमचे सक्कड सांगाती जशेल आसलो म्हण दिसता. आनी सक्कडी आमचे ट्रस्टी बरें वावर करतात. पूण ह्या निमाणे घडये अनिवार्य तुर्ताचे घडये आनी दिल्ली सेवा ती विशेष व्हंकलेक हे पावो जाल्ली. हांव तुमी संदेश उपकार आठोवंक ना जाल्यार विशेशान हांव तुमचो उल्लेख करता. तुमकां सगळ्यांक देव बरें करूं. आनी आज आमच्या आरोळांनान लायटिंगान ते कार्यान सोंपयलां. आमची चडावत कार्य सोंपता जाल्यार ताच्या लायटिंग आतां प्रदीपाच्या विल्सनाच्या वेदी विन्यासात आनी आमचो अनिल आसा. सक्कड आमचे एक आतां हात दिवन काम करतात आमचे संदे. तांच्या सक्कडांच्या मेहनतीन आमची कार्य सोंपतात. सक्कडांचो हांव आभार मानता. सक्कडांक देव बरें करूं. आनी निमाणें आनी कांय सुटलें गे हांवें फोटोग्राफर जोशिल्लो फोटोग्राफर आमचो सांदो. आनी आज चेतन आसा आमचो चेत व्हिडियो करता तेन्ना सकडांक जालें न्ही. हय सकडांक देव बरें करूं. सकडांक देव बरें करूं.
This last song is another beautiful one I just happened to stumble across a few years ago. In a language that I've always felt, although it sounds very different, has a cultural root. It's very similar to our own. They too are an isolated people between the mountains and the highlands and the plains and the rivers below. They too were forced out of their homes into disappearance, a scar that is not entirely left. They too are people that know beauty. They too are people that love the things that we do. This is not about that pain alone. This next song is in the Armenian language, Hayeren as they call it, from Hayastan. Another song from the mountains. About the snow and the rain that fall, and how they mean departure. This song is called Yes Kulam, which means I will cry. Yes, and Lord, du es Lord, mot kennen Lord, Zeratur, Sirtatur, Urachen Apuchur, Andrev Kam, Patilko, Geshim Morana. Serge Cougar, coming over her,
is cool long, girls on Mars long, wounds get on, others girls gonna. Thank you very much, folks. And Wilson's just finished the last one.
एक 5 मिनटां आमी आतां आर्ट वर्क केलां करूंक आसा ताच्या पयलें ईशानाची मम्मी आसा डॉक्टर रश्मी तिकाय आमी गौरव पाठयता उदळ विसरालो तुजी हाजरी मानून घेता थँक्यू आयलाय तूं हय हय फुलां हय थँक्यू मागीर जॉयस बाय आसा जॉयस बायाची भयण आसा सगळ्यांकी आमी देव बरें करूं म्हणटा